Hello. Happy Wednesday, diary listeners. I do apologize for needing more time. I apologize mostly, I think, to our feature of this week and probably the next couple. I haven't fully done all of our editing because actually me and Swasthik or Swazzi, you can find her on Instagram at Gungama. She's amazing. But I spent so long just chatting with her, and we really had an awesome meeting. I felt kind of bad by the end of our talk because she's so awesome and doing such amazing things. And I actually have a lot of connection with her that I wasn't fully aware of. It's so horrible when you're a tattoo artist and you've been doing it for a considerable amount of time, I guess, and just kind of being like me, that I don't really check in with the fact that I follow so many amazing people and I've loved their work, but I don't really make a point of understanding much about them. So this diary entry is really me just kind of going in kind of raw and meeting this beautiful person that I had the honor of meeting. And she's incredible. I want to start out the podcast because it is a multi-parter, and I really want to call attention to her in the ways that I think are necessary right away, to shout out something big that she's building towards. She's having an art show in LA at Devout Gallery, June 22nd. So I really want to put that out there at the top of this time. Gungama, like I said, is her IG. So please, before you do anything, go follow her there. At least get on my level of looking at her and looking at her work. But Swasthik, she is amazing. And we're calling this first piece of her diary entry Saying Yes, because I am so incredibly grateful for her saying yes to this time with me. I hope you enjoy it, listeners. Welcome to the Apprenticeship Diaries, where raw meets refined.
Let's be real, we're still working on refining.
What it took, what it takes, and the stories that are made.
Join us as we learn from professionals about how their stories begin.
I kind of think that the beginning banter is really refreshing. It adds, we're real people.
That's right. And it just makes it comfortable too. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yes. Well, I'm going to apologize. I am very untalented with my tongue and my ability to say things. Could you tell me how to say your name well?
Yes. My name is Swasthik, but everyone just calls me Swazzi. So feel free to call me Swazzi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you work at No Borders Tattoo? Is that correct?
I work at Good Luck.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good Luck Tattoo in Greenpoint in Brooklyn.
Okay. Forgive me. I think I was stalking you a bit. I was trying to gather deets and I saw a thing, and you might have just been doing a guest spot there, and I ran with it.
I think I have worked at a shop called No Borders in Mumbai. I did a day or two there. So yeah.
Oh, wonderful. It's even in another country. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
New York is so incredible because it's the kind of place where you could picture that, it's exactly. So full of cultural influences and amazing that way that I completely thought it was in New York.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I agree with you. I think I love it. That's what prompted me to even move to the States, is because there's so much color and culture and diversity in New York. Mm-hmm. Shops that I have heard of and I like that I just never even have seen in Australia, like collectives. And so, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's really neat. And I like, Baltimore has certain, because that's the closest city to me, has similar vibes at time. Like we have our Greek areas, our Italian areas and stuff. But then there's a big mix and mingle kind of thing too.
Yeah. Were you
Mhm.
born there?
I was born in Maryland. I've
Yeah.
lived only in a smattering of places
Okay.
outside of the state, but this has usually been just my hometown.
Okay.
I generally like it.
Yeah.
Maryland has a lot of everything that you want.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really want to go. Like I was saying
Yeah,
to you, I have my brother-in-law and my sister and my baby nephew live in MD, so I really want to go. I want to
that's
go.
so cool.
Yeah, it is so cool. Yeah.
Congrats to her and to you for being an auntie. It's a
Oh,
wonderful gig.
yeah. Do you have nieces and nephews?
I have a niece and I have two nephews. My brother is younger than me. I opted not to be a parent. I felt that was best for everyone.
Okay.
But I love being an aunt. I'm the weird aunt, you know,
You're the
like
cool one. The
no,
cool.
no. Swazzi, I've never been cool a day in my life.
They get to do art and stuff with you, which is, they'd be loving that.
Yeah, they're really cool, man. They're cool.
Yeah.
They're very talented, multi-talented. I really fell into something that I could do well and that I was I think just very motivated with, but they're musical, they're physical, they're one of them, she is amazing. My niece, she is so unstoppable, man. Like the kid falls down and just gets right back up and is smiling, like
Mm.
just unflappable in her determination to do what she wants to do. And she really takes a lot of hits along the way and just keeps going.
They're like rubber. They're just like rubber. They bounce back,
I know, but I never did. I was is the second something became very painful, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I think also the same. I think because I'm the oldest, Sweta, my sister, and MD, she's younger than me. But I feel like I got really babied being the first child. Your parents are just, I don't know, they're so protective of you. And I think as a result, if something was too painful or if I just didn't grasp it, I was out.
Yeah.
There were a lot more.
And you get away with it too.
You do.
You
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And you get doted on a lot. There was more pictures of me than my brother for sure. I was a special case. He was too though. At birth, I was born with an underdeveloped hip. So I was actually an emergency C-section. I had to be cut out of my mom because my butt, Swazzi, is ginormous. It has always been big.
Yeah.
And even at birth, it was stuck in my mother's pelvic bone.
Oh.
And so my leg didn't grow into my hip socket. So I had to, when I was born, I had to be put right into orthotics and get surgery. And I was in a full body cast and in traction for 9 months after my birth. So that probably helped the coddling a bit and the self-doubt.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just inadequate for this world right out the gate. And and my brother was born a preemie, so my mom really didn't have it easy either time. Either time. 2 is enough.
2. But your hips are all obviously all sorted now, and
they're decent. I have weird stuff. It's boring. It's boring. I mean, it really is. I have a special condition now. It's called synovial chondromatosis. It's a weird thing. Thank God it's not cancerous, at least not now. But basically my body produces free floating cartilage throughout the synovial tissue of my knee. And it can happen to any joint, but knees are actually more common than not. And so I have a lot of inflammation that just centers around my knee.
Right. Does that affect tattooing? Do you do yoga, or is there any way?
I should. Yeah. I'm a very thick-headed person. And that's a lot of the reason why I started this podcast too, is I'm not easily taught. I'm very stubborn, and I'm very just pig-headed. I know what I'm doing, but I don't do it. And I have to reach kind of a breaking point. Like I have to be like, as we were talking about before the show, I had to be wholly broken. Like I feel like my heart had to break so hard to come to God that that's just how I am. I'm really, it's a problem. And so I know I should be doing certain things. I don't do them. But my love of tattooing and my love of doing art is a motivator, because the second it becomes something where I'm compromised doing what I love to do, I change. So
I relate to you in that. I think it's not easy having routine and then putting things into practice. I feel you. People ask me all the time, oh, you must do yoga every day and, pray every day. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I try my best.
Yeah.
But some days are really trickier than others. And I got a lot going on. And I might miss out on doing a bit of exercise that week. But I think we just got to take that into consideration and be kind. So I need to start focusing on being a lot kinder. Just giving myself a bit more grace, I think.
Yes. Well, and that's a humility that you find with age too. At least I'm 43. So, definitely the joints are not what they should be. Even the ones that are not compromised by a special rare condition that I have, they're all kind of feeling it these days. So, and we sit a lot. So sitting a lot that's a compromise in your body structure, just regardless.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I agree with you.
How long have you been tattooing?
I did my first tattoo at the end of 2017.
Oh, wow. You're so good.
Oh my God. I just try my best. I appreciate your words. Thank you. I feel
You're
like
welcome.
A long way to go. I really don't think that, I'm definitely still a student.
Well, that's a good attitude.
Yeah. I think I'll always be a student.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Yeah. That's it. Because you're constantly, like we were talking about before, it's like you're always like, it's not just like the craft aside, you're also changing as a person.
Yes.
Growing. And art is also just subjective and objective, and it's always, I just have to constantly work on my skill sets.
Oh yeah. Well, and in tattooing, as you well know, it's so much more than the craft itself. I mean, it's interpersonal skills, it's marketing, it's all these things. We've touched on that a little bit, and I agree with you, by the way. I didn't get a chance, but Instagram, it is changed. Like, I think it's going to swing back though, because to reiterate, you had said that it's changing and it's very instant, and people want to see certain things, and there's a lot of pressure there. But I think that there's going to be a return to people wanting to pull back.
Yes,
it can only happen that way, because I really don't think we can take this much download, honestly.
No, I don't. I honestly, also, I found myself I've always used it predominantly for my work.
And wise, very wise.
Yes. Yeah. And to have a body of work out there for people to see if they want to book in, obviously. But I find this year, actually, also last year when I made the move to the States, I found myself like actually not on the platform as much. And it was really good for my mental health, actually.
I believe it.
Because
I believe it.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
There's been points and I'd be scrolling where I could have used that time to go take my dog for a walk in the sun.
Yes.
It's just little things like that. Yeah.
No, there was I forget who said it, but and I'm only speaking from the faith that I persuade to, but when Eve bit of the apple of knowledge of good and evil,
yes,
and the serpent promised that that she would be like, that man would be like God at that point.
Yeah.
The whole idea of that, I think symbolically, was that we cannot handle the kind of omniscience of a godlike being. And so phones, when you're able to access things that are not currently happening to you, it removes you of the present moment, and it robs you of all of those wonderful things that you get from staying present and staying in what's happening now.
Agreed.
And so I totally believe that. I wish I could give credit to who I heard it from, but I did hear that recently, and that's what it called upon for me. So I believe you.
Yeah, that's really beautifully said. I actually like that too. I think, and I think it's hard. I think we have to just remind ourselves about that as well. Just to be in the present.
Yeah. That's what's great about tattooing, right? Because you can't do much while you're getting tattooed.
No, exactly.
Or tattooing.
Yes. You're with. One of the special things about tattooing is that it's you and your client. You're sharing something really intimate. It's beautiful. You get to hear each other's stories.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, it saved my life. I love tattooing.
How'd you get involved in it? Like your story, we've talked way too much about me. I'm so much more interested in you right now.
Oh man. I actually left and moved to London when I was 20 because I was raised in a pretty orthodox, strict household. And I really just wanted my freedom. So at the time, long story short, my parents were going through a divorce, which was very controversial at the time. I believe. Because they were an arranged marriage.
Oh, wow. Good for them. That's hard to do.
It is very hard to do. And they're better. I'm glad they did that. I have a very close relationship with my mom. And so I guess when I moved to London is when I started getting tattooed. I was just in awe when I walked into the shop, into you, and I'd seen my first tattoos were Hindu deities, my main god, which is Lakshmi Narasimha.
Oh wow! I don't think I know that one.
There's a special. I'll send you photos.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it's a form of Vishnu.
Okay.
He's
that makes sense.
Yeah, neither human nor animal. He's has an iron face, human body. And I just remember when I was in such awe because I didn't know that like, how do I say this? There was just such a deep level of respect and love for Indian culture. Within that shop. They had all the deities. Cool. They had like the Hindu swastika. A lot of the tattooers like Thomas and Alex Beanie, they all had gone to India as well. So I fell in love. My friendships I found through the punk scene, and I just felt a level of acceptance that I didn't get when I was growing up in Australia in primary school and high school. So yes, I guess I started being tattooed, and that then resulted in finally having the courage to tell my mom, like, I want to be a tattooist. I don't want to, because for
what
ages,
were you pursuing befof that?
I was just doing odd jobs. I was a nanny.
Oh, that's great.
My mom does family daycare. I kind of was also just a little bit of a deadbeat. I was young. I was in the punk scene. You
were 20.
I was 20. Yeah, I was drinking.
Everything you're saying, first of all, makes a lot of sense. But bravo to you that you just moved to another country. I wanted to do that, but they wouldn't let me. Like, my family was like, "No, you're not going. We're There's a whole story there." But they were like,
"I'd love to.
You're losing your mind."
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I'd love to hear your story. Actually, I guess I was kind of like, you know what? To be honest, it was like it's
a hero's journey.
Pardon me, what was that?
It's a hero's journey. You were going on a quest to
I
find
was going on a
yourself.
quest. Exactly.
Yeah, you have to do
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
it.
bet. It's incredible to do that.
I,
I'm sure you learned so much.
so much. I felt like I was so deprived of like acceptance and growing up in Australia that I really like my closest friends to this day are the people that I met in London. And
Aw.
yeah, I still know them. People got married, people unfortunately some people passed away,
Yeah.
and then so that's just that was it. I just
That's it.
lived in London, Spain, Berlin, came back, did an apprenticeship.
How did your
Um
mom receive you telling her?
she honestly, she was just really happy to have me back because
Aw.
there's something that I missed out. She'd never seen me like when she saw me leave, I had no tattoos. Okay. When I had come back, that's quite a funny story.
Okay.
He was aware because my best friend Rosie came and visited.
Okay.
And Rosie was just like, dude, I'm not going to lie to your mom. Like, you are heavily tattooed. Like I had the sides of my neck, my chest, my sleeves.
Well, in Indian culture, I know the family is so close, and
Yes.
there is a lot of those, like you said, Orthodox. It's very, they're in your business.
They're in your business. Yeah. And it's not like, it wasn't like, yeah, I was completely outcasted. My parents were like, they still were sort of like, they related tattooing to sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, most people did. Most people still do.
Yeah, and still do. So
Yeah.
I guess like the way, yeah, that was really funny. So my sister picked me up from the airport. And it was like 50-degree heat, and she's like, "You look crazy." I had gloves on, a turtleneck. She was like, "You're gonna have to take all of this stuff off when you get into the house. Like, what are you gonna try and hide your tattoos like forever?" And I was like, I don't know. I like stood in the driveway for like 20 minutes before I even walked into the
Swazzi.
house. And then
Aw.
she just held me and started crying, not because of the tattoos, but because she was like so happy to have her daughter back.
Yeah.
I think that was really amazing. And it's
It
not,
is.
it is, right? And it's not till later in life you really understand, like, wow, like, for her, I'm her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She just wanted to know that I was safe. So
Yes.
I guess, how did she said to me, I will support you, but I need to see you work hard. So
Oh, that's great.
yes,
That's
when
really
you're under
great.
my roof, you are not taking any substances. There
Mm-hmm.
is no alcohol in this house. You are painting every day, and I'm gonna drive you and drop you off to the.
I love your mother.
She's a powerhouse.
She's awesome.
She's cool, man.
Yeah, she is. I
Super
dig
cool.
it.
Yeah, yeah. And
She's got boundaries. I like it.
oh, totally, totally. She's got boundaries, and she was very like, she wasn't like, she was like, I don't care what you do, but I'm not gonna let you off the hook. I need to see you. And so I like
That's
literally
great.
did that for like a year, painted every day.
Wow, dude, that's awesome.
I know. She drove me that day to like, it was a weekend. I had a portfolio of work, a big folder, and I was just hopping from shop to shop, just being like, "Hey, man, can I be a counter girl? I really want a tattoo." Obviously, got denied so many
Yeah.
times. Went to the same shops again until I found a shop in the suburbs. Unfortunately, was not it. It was a time I learned a lot of valuable things, but it was not where I stayed.
Yeah.
It wasn't very supportive, and I wasn't really getting much out of it towards the end of when I decided to leave that shop. But hey, and that was it. I
was told in the beginning when I was doing the same thing, they were like, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to go to a shitty shop. You're going to work for a shitty shop. Then you're going to leave a shitty shop. You're going to work for a less shitty shop. And then you're just going to keep doing that until you're finally a tattoo artist that doesn't have to work for anybody.
That's true. It's true. Make sense, right? We ourselves. Yeah. Yeah.
And it sounded so ridiculous. because I was like, well, this has got to be done a better way. But no, that is how it works. And I do think that's how it should be. Honestly, I think that shows your grit and your passion.
Totally. I think so. I agree with you. I think I think it takes a lot of courage and strength to be able to endure apprenticeships. Apprenticeships. I think that the craft is extremely sacred. And I think that the only way you're going to learn things about tattooing, all of its magic, is by going through, I would say, these initiation processes.
Yeah.
Apprenticeship, you know what I mean? It's like you have to fall down multiple times and be beat down before you start to really, I think humility is so important in tattooing. We touched on that a little bit prior to this. Like, it's so important, man, because like, honestly, like, we're marking people like permanently. And without humility, you're not always going to evolve. It's almost as if like the love for tattooing is gone because you think your shit's hot. You know what I mean? Like, you're not evolving. And you're not paying like just the respect that tattooing needs and requires if you're going to be a tattooist, because we have to appreciate the legends that came before us, they made the way from the, people in the Western world, people in tribal tattooing.
There's that, and there's just the client.
And the client.
Like the person that you're tattooing, I mean, they deserve you not, taking them for granted either. And just seeing them as another appointment or all of that. But yeah, you're right. There's the legacy of tattooing that came before you, but then there's also the person that you are face to face with that is giving you permission to basically torture them for hours.
Exactly. I was thinking that, it's like, oh my God, like, and it just, it makes my heart sink in a really lovely way. It's like, because I'm recently getting like another layer. I'm getting tattooed again, and it just reminds you. Yeah, I'm actually trading with a friend of mine. Awesome. He's an amazing tattooist. You kind of remember like you're so vulnerable when you give yourself to the tattooist. Like, you're like, here, this is my body.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It takes much like trust, respect. And just to treat people as people and not just like, oh, next client, because it's not factory work. We're really, we see it all, like, I think, and it's because I'm getting tattooed again recently that I was like, oh man, this is what I'm doing to people every day. Like, it just humbled you out because you're like, okay, it's very painful. I need a break.
Yeah.
I have a quick smoke break. It's just, I'm trying to, like, you know what I mean?
What's your, I know this is off script, but I love this. I'm a princess, man. Like, I bring pillows. Like, I'm everything a TikTok video tells you not to be. I'm that. I got like my preferred candy. My boyfriend's there. Like, he's now my husband, but he's like rubbing my feet and trying not to jostle me. Just so I'm such a princess. Oh my God.
I was talking about this to a lovely a lady. She owns a shop in Richmond. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it's funny us talking about this because it's like, you're so heavily tattooed. I can see that you've got your neck tattooed.
I mean, I'm not really. It's a dickie. Do you know what a dickie is?
No, what's a dickie?
A dickie is a fake.
What is it?
It's a fake turtleneck. So all it is a neck with like this flap that you put underneath of another shirt because you don't want to wear two shirts.
Oh.
So basically, I'm just like, I'm halfway tattooed on my neck and then like this much of my chest. And then that's it. I don't have sleeves. I'm not really that tattooed.
Oh, you did.
I fake it well.
That's so funny. That's so cute.
Yeah. I mean, I am tattooed in my arm. I do have some more painful places, so I can
yeah,
speak to some things, but in the
yeah,
realm of what we deal with, I am not heavily tattooed. In fact, some of my clients are much more tattooed than I am.
that's so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, but I'm a princess too. I
Yeah.
really am. I'm bringing my sunnies, my hoodie,
Hmm.
like snacks. I always treat myself to like breakfast before, and
God
then
love you. That's awesome. You
yeah,
have to.
you have to. But when I was really, really young, like I would be going to shows till like, I don't know, 5 a.m. and then being really wasted and go and get my chest tattooed for 6 hours. I cannot do that anymore.
Well, it
That
was
was
punk rock as hell, though.
that was record. Yeah, 18 years ago. 18, and now I'm the biggest wimp, and that's okay to be.
It
I'm just
is.
yeah,
Well, and
yeah.
it helps you inform what you can offer your client too. Because if you know how you feel when you're getting tattooed in a certain place, you can
Yeah,
offer them like, "Hey, I got this pillow for you. It might make you a little more comfortable. Try this
totally.
position.
Totally. I
Here's
agree with
this candy. Try it.
yes, yes,
It
yes, yes.
works for me."
It works for me. I hope it works for you. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
I think like yeah, I think that's a really important thing about tattooing as well. Is it's like we have to be to have compassion and empathy
Yeah.
and like and be understanding.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've been really kind of thinking about these things more recently as I've been getting tattooed. Because I'm kind of laughing to myself because, my friend who's tattooing me, like I said, Chris Klein, he's an incredible
Oh
human
yeah.
and an incredible artist. And I have a lot of
Hmm.
respect for him and his work. And we had made these plans, dude. We were like, yes, bro. I was like, yep, let's get both of the legs done, the black work. And he was all like, yep, we're gonna get all the lines done. And it's like a tribal blast over that we're doing. So
Wow.
like heavy black work.
Damn,
And
bro.
then we both kind of looked at each other and we were like, yeah, my eyes are bigger than mine. But like I
Yeah.
had a plan, but I was like, it didn't get done. It's painful.
Yes.
I was like, let's get some fries and rebook. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's like, yeah, I
I'm
feel it.
tattooing a girlfriend of mine tomorrow and she's lovely and she's getting her chest done and she was like I'm really scared and I said, "Well, I can't advise you about the pain because everybody experiences it different and I've been wrong before. I've ill-advised her because what hurt me didn't hurt her and vice versa. What didn't hurt me did hurt her." So I was like,
Yeah,
I can't inform that." I said, "But what
yeah,
I can say is that
yes.
my chess piece I did with like 5 sessions. We broke it up so much. Like I really hate your face at like 6 hours. Like 4 hours, I'm
Yeah,
good. Like that's a nice
yeah,
session. That's
yes,
everybody can walk away. We felt like we did work. I'm not
yeah,
so ridden that I'm like, oh my God, you get the tattoo flu if you push yourself too
totally,
far beyond.
totally. Yeah,
So, and I had to travel to go get it done. I didn't have to travel as much as she does. She's coming from Delaware, but I set her up in my house and I let her spend the night and we feed her and we try to make, she's my friend as well as
yeah,
my client.
yeah,
And I told her, I said, just pace it, girl. If you just pace
yes.
it and you don't try to rush it and overdo it, it's not the end of the world. I think you really go awry when, like you said, when you're not kind to yourself, you don't give yourself enough space
Totally.
and to heal
Yeah,
properly.
yeah. No, no, and like the tattoo flu is real,
It's
man.
real.
It's I can't.
Awful.
I know. I can't actually like New York is expensive. Like I can't afford to like take a week off work because
Right?
I wasn't prepared. I didn't eat right. I didn't rest. And so it's
Yeah.
you just and you're right. Everyone's pain threshold is different. I
Hmm.
just feel like no matter what, like I feel like it all just hurts.
Yeah, it
Then
does.
it's because I'm just like telling people like I'm gonna be honest with you. I just think tattoos hurt.
Yeah. That's
Like,
good. That's great to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah,
I always
yeah.
set people up for like they're like, how much does it hurt? And I said, look, I don't know what your worst pain has been, but
Yes.
imagine that. And their eyes get really big, and I'm like, look, set yourself up for that. And if it's nowhere near that, we're great.
We're great. We're winning. Yeah.
But prepare yourself for that.
Totally
and as long as you prepare yourself for that, now I can't do anything if you haven't gone through a lot of pain.
Yeah.
That might be an eye-opening experience for you then. But hey, I mean, tattooing, like you said, it's a sacred thing. It's
yes.
It's a trial by fire. So I feel like you'll definitely know something more about yourself by the end of it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. I got my back tattooed a very long time ago by a very good friend of mine. I have Kalima.
Nice.
And I had a tattooist friend at the time say, you will learn a lot about yourself during the process of getting your back tattooed and after. And I really didn't understand at the time. I was really young, but it all makes sense to me now because obviously I have a spiritual practice as well. And I don't think tattoos are just tattoos. For me, they're sacred markings. And actually, because I have Kali Ma on my back and she's a ferocious goddess.
Yes.
I still have to once a year go to India and I actually have to have women who give me a bath to cool Kali Ma down because I was young and my mom was like, you did not ask for permission from Kali Ma to get Kali Ma.
Yeah, that's important.
And looking back at that, oh my God, like I totally understand what she's saying because I think tattooing brought me back to my spirituality for sure. Because during my apprenticeship times and even when I was a counter girl, I was painting deities. Obviously so inspired by Robert Ryan, who we know is amazing.
Yeah.
Who lives and breathes.
Yeah.
Like for him, his life and tattooing isn't separate; it's one. And so I feel like, yeah, I did actually, and that really did make sense. After I got Kali Ma, I feel like I totally like changed. I felt like I became more of a woman, less of a child.
I believe it.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it's a labor. It's a death of something. You're never the same afterwards.
Beautifully said. Yeah, it is. It is the death of something. Yeah, and it is painful.
Yeah, and Kali is very significant for that because Kali isn't Kali. She births a baby and then eats it at the same time. Like it's
there's different forms of Kali. Yeah, totally. And it's like she is a representation of like the creation and destruction.
Yes. And so
the ego.
That embodiment of like embracing something that dies. I think that's very significant and symbolic, honestly.
Yeah, and I really like I'm so grateful for my mom.
I'm glad you're earning her now too. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's exactly like it. I'm just really happy for my mom to be like, it is it's no joke that you have Kali Ma on your back. It's not. And I really was thinking about it because like, oh my God, like for sure. Like even as a kid, like you go to the temples in India, like, even as a kid, I remember like you crawling on your hands and knees when you go to see Kali Ma, literally.
Yeah. Wow.
She is
so awesome.
Powerful and actually not scary to me because as kids, like just we see that imagery, we see the gods all the time. Like Lakshmi Narasimha for me is like, oh my God, he's such a protector, even if he's in a very angry, ugra form, but Lakshmi Narasimha isn't. It's like, it's not scary for me. I find safety,
That's good.
And so, yeah, I think, I don't know where I was going. I was just like, yeah, you're right. Like, I think, they're not just tattoos.
No, I mean, and that's what's important is that and what I see in your tattooing too is a lot of infusion of where you come to it spiritually. And I think people come to you so that they can learn more about that. They can share in that. They can, maybe invoke their own spirituality. But I think that that's really cool what you offer in that realm, like to give that to people.
I really appreciate your kind words.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
dude. No, it shows. I mean, your work is stunning, and it really shows. I would be wrong to say that I understand it all, but they're stunning. And I really believe with tattoos, even with clients of mine, like they come to me. I am a great
Mm.
so my background in school was illustration, and I'm really good at taking a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense and putting it together and
That's
making it make sense.
super cool. That's all.
Right. So I basically, with every person, we kind of create a story. We create an image that represents their story. So it's kind of like they create their own legend within this one piece. And one thing that I try to make them very clear about and try to help them with is that, like, at the end of the day, it should be beautiful.
Yeah.
Because, and it has to work with your body, because if it doesn't do that, then it does no credit whatsoever to the
Yeah.
thing that you're trying to represent and what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
So, we really have to make sure that I want it to have meaning. I want it to say and represent everything that you want it to, but
Yeah.
it also has to catch somebody's eye. It has to make them light up when they see you, because if it doesn't do that, then it won't serve you and it won't serve what you're trying to say.
Beautifully.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. That's really powerful.
Yeah. And that's what I get the sense of with, what you were just talking about, these gods and goddesses, they, in any kind of form of worship. And a lot of tattooing is that. It's symbolism, it's storytelling, it's
Correct.
taking part in a sacred practice. It can be very, very individual, or it can be taking part in something that is so much more than you, that you're giving reverence to.
Yes.
And I like that, one, that you've been able to feel that for yourself, and that you're bringing other people into it in a way that you can, and sharing what your experiences has been. And now you get to, people come, I'm sure, come to you because of this specificness. I'm a little different because I'm a mixed bag. Like I don't really think I have a style. You can look at my work and you can tell me if I do, but I think my style is, give me something and I'll comment on it.
Yeah.
And it'll be beautiful, but not what you expected, and you probably won't find it anywhere else. That's what I'll guarantee.
Amazing. That's so special. It's
fun. It doesn't make you a lot of money. I can say that.
Yeah. I mean,
but I gotta be entertained, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, God, I'd get fired from an office job in like 10 minutes, dude. I wouldn't be able to do a 9 to 5. Like, but in saying so, I'm like I do a 9 to 5, because if I could start at 7 a.m., I would. Everyone laughs at me because I am a morning person. And
I think that's lovely.
Yeah.
I am too, but I haven't been able to be for a long time.
Yeah, routine, like we were saying, routine it can be challenging sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Well, I identify a lot with what you're saying. It's different, of course it would be. We're different people. We've had different experiences, different parts of the world.
Yeah. And I also think, I think it's amazing, honestly, like, I look at some tattoos like Japanese or realism, and I'm like so in awe, because I'm like, how do these people, from application to execution to, like, people that do realism do incredible oil paintings. I just cannot do that. I am just not I cannot do something like that at all. It's challenging for me. And I think that's the really beautiful thing about tattooing, even sharing what we've been just now, what we shared, is that our minds everyone's minds work in different ways. And it is based on, everyone's individual experiences, and everyone has, parts where their strengths are, and we also have areas where, like, that we need to work on. It's constantly evolving, constantly working. And
Yeah.
I think like I'm excited to see your work. It sounds like it's really abstract.
It
Is that
has
right?
moments of that.
Yeah.
It's weird to I take a lot of I love people. There's a guy named Luceau in France that I really admire his work. I've never met him. I he does a very sketchy kind of style that's very artful that I absolutely adore. He's
Mm.
hot as hell too. I'm married, but like the boy is good looking.
I don't know if it's age. I find myself like just naturally leaning towards more healthier practices because our bodies, you see your parents, I and it's like I can't be what I was 20 now because
Yeah.
I'm bedridden for 2 weeks and I just have too much
Yeah.
to do. I have to live. I love creating. I have to pay
Yes.
rent. I have a dog. Like I have
Yeah.
responsibilities. And
Yep.
I'm here because I'm here for my career. I don't want to waste opportunities or just because I was just not in the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm starting to see like in all kind of facets of life, people are just like embracing more things like sustainable products
Yeah.
and so I feel like
Well, when you see the product of time, and tattoos are very much so a lesson in that because you get
yeah,
to, people come back and you see your work over
yeah,
time and what it
yes.
does.
And
All things as you get older and you're able to observe a lot more time, you're like, oh,
absolutely.
that's what happens.
Absolutely. Yes. I also think part of having like, beautiful clients come back is also a reflection of the service you provide them, which is
Yes.
so important.
Yes.
I think it's just obvious. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, like even just in our conversations, like tattooing and client relationship and connection and energy exchange are really important concepts or
Yeah.
things that we support. So by just delivering a nice service, being as authentic and kind as you can,
Yeah.
and having good boundaries is important too. You start
Yeah.
to build a beautiful like
Well, you
client.
have to.
Yes, you have to.
You have to.
Yes, very.
Brene Brown, she put it well. She was like the most compassionate people in the world. She's like, I thought that they shared, something in common like faith or whatnot. But she said, no, actually, they share boundaries.
Yeah.
They understand, they respect other people's boundaries, but they demand that their boundaries be respected too.
Yeah.
And that just shows a universal love of self and others,
Oh,
like you're not gonna be imbalanced.
totally.
So
Totally.
yeah, no, you're right. You're very right. And tattooing really demands that. I
Yeah.
think. Well, and it's service. Like you said, it's a service. And I don't know, I find so much beauty in service. I genuinely enjoy doing that.
Me too. I
Yeah.
genuinely enjoy seeing clients smile.
Yeah.
What it is.
Yeah.
I think I think that's that even the term service, like whatever job we do, it
Mhm.
should just be done at 100%. And when you
Yeah.
do that, you're in service to something or someone or yeah, like, and
That's what
hopefully,
makes it sacred.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Like you said, I was envisioning, you crawling on your knees to Kali. And that's what it is. It's a worship. And people need that kind of worship in their life. They need to feel that kind of atonement too at times because they're hurting a lot.
yes,
So we get
yeah.
that opportunity.
I just had this conversation with a really dear friend, tattoo friend of mine, and I we were talking about tattooing and I told her this story. I in one of the shops that I was in Australia, I had a beautiful elder mother come, and she got a memorial tattoo, and because her son had passed, and it was a rose, and got. And I've never forgotten. It always sort of comes up, in my memories, because I think about moments like this with clients, and how it was in relation to what you just said, that they mean something to someone, and it's like, that's so special that this lady wanted to see me to get a memorial tattoo of her son that just passed.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually really emotionally overwhelming at times, in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
And having boundaries, like, I know tattooing is hard work,
Yeah.
we were saying that it's always work. Not in a way that I'm complaining. It's just like, I still get adrenaline, like every day I go to work. There's a little bit of me that's nervous about, like, oh, am I gonna do, I hope I can do the best I can, kind of thing,
Genuine caring.
And by having, like, I think by having good boundaries with myself, and having, like, my own sort of privacy, and having boundaries with work, then I'm able to just sort of try and, to the best of my ability, live a quite a balanced, just simple life, because that's what I want. A life that is really just like, I always want to paint. I always want to create. I love tattooing. I want to always tattoo. And I want to be able to make people smile. But I also don't want to just give I do therapy, by the way. I love it.
Right on.
It's great. It's great.
That's awesome.
And it
is great.
Important. It's so important to me.
It's so important.
Just like, without my therapist, I see him once a week. He's wonderful.
Oh, that's awesing. That's really awesome.
And he's so great. And I see his friend for Reiki. Anyway, I think I also need to have boundaries with myself, because,
of course,
if I'm, like, giving so much, then I find myself, like, we start to deteriorate. And so what I mean by boundaries with myself is, like, making sure I do eat well and rest, and have that time where I go for a walk every day with Rudy.
Who's precious. His little sounds are awesome. I haven't even seen him, but I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute.
I'm like, I look at him sometimes and I'm like, why would I want to go out? Like, I
can stay here with you.
Yeah. He like spoons me like a person would. And I'm like, I can't, and my phone will be ringing and I'm like, I can't move until he moves. That's the rules. It's just too cute.
I love it.
Not moving.
You might need some boundaries there.
No, you know what? He can step all over my boundaries. That one can. So
I know they really can, can't they?
Yeah, he's just like, as I'm talking.
They give so much back. It's so great. Yeah, it's definitely.
We're so lucky as humans to have, like, that God. I look at him and I'm like, God gave us these four-legged creatures.
Right?
Like, we are so lucky to have them, man.
Agreed.
I can't believe it. That's healing. I love that in tattoo shops in America that there are dogs, because that isn't a thing in Australia. And you don't realize how special that is, because when your client is in pain, when there is a dog, it's just that little push, it's like a healing hug that just makes them just sit.
Yeah.
Sit that last half hour. I love it. I love it.
I love it too. I agree. I think that, well, and they've proven that with a lot of different situations, if people are in medical situations.
Yes.
You mentioned your therapist. My therapist passed away, but before she did, her daughter would sneak in her dachshund so that, and they would watch like soccer together. And
I'm sorry to hear that your therapist passed away. I'm really sorry.
oh, thank you. It was that's one of the reasons why I stopped smoking. She passed away of lung cancer, and so after her and my aunt passed away, she passed away of COPD. So after that, I just hear their voices in my head too much when I go to smoke. They're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "You're right. You're right." Thank you for that. But honestly, I went. I don't know how to put it, but it's not that I don't need therapy now. I have a pastor now that is lovely and
Amazing.
helps, spiritually direct me. But my therapist, she was really great because she, I think really good mentorship is the kind that, you don't need it after a while. And so she was very big about like, look, there's going to be times when I tell you just to go out and that you're not going to reach out to me. She's like, I'll always be here. But like,
she's like a guru.
Yeah. She was like, go out, try things and fail and come back when you need it. And, I want you to not have to pay all this money to just see me all the time. Of course, if you need it, we'll do it. But she was like, I want to conquer the things that you have problems with.
Yeah, that's amazing.
She's great.
It's so beautiful that you have a pastor. I also have like spiritual gurus.
Nice.
My mom, I would consider as a guru.
She sounds like it.
Yeah, she's such an important person. We've had our times. It's only through therapy that I can understand the life that she walked and how difficult it was to bring, to raise kids in the West, have multiple jobs, where she didn't, she's away from, her mom, her culture, what she knows. So we've had our times, and I honestly, I think all of us go through that. I think I think we don't appreciate them when we're.
How can you?
Yeah, we're rebellious,
Well, you don't know.
You don't.
You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
They know you don't know.
Exactly.
When you were talking about coming home to her, I was thinking about all the times that I had young people in my chair, because when you cut hair, you can cut hair of very small people. It's not like tattooing where you have to be a certain age. So you get access to a lot of young minds.
Yeah.
And of course, they're pissed because half the time they don't want to be getting a haircut. So you really, it's precarious. You really have to. You have to give the mom what they're asking for, but then you also have to, the kid's your client.
That's right.
So it's this very delicate maneuver. And, they take it out on you a lot. And so I would push back and I'd get like the things out of them, and they'd confide in me half the time that they were mad. They didn't want a haircut and they didn't understand why they couldn't just be what they are. And, the advice that I always gave kids was, it's very important to wreck your parents' illusions of you as quickly as you can. And don't think it's going to be easy. You're going to have to do a lot of things to smash those things that they put on you. And it's going to hurt, and it's going to cause a lot of heartache and pain, but it's very important. And parents, I used to always tell them, I was like, be fallible and honest in front of your children, and apologize every now and then, because they need to know that you're a person and not just this dynamo of a human being, because, they need to feel like they can they can meet you at some point. And those were the things that I grappled with. But I definitely feel like I felt the same way when I went off and my routes. I mean, I don't know how crazy you got, but I got really crazy. And when I came back home, it's amazing how much they're just so happy you're not dead.
Honestly, that's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, I know.
And they are just so pleased you're alive.
I know. That was one of the conditions. My mom was like, you have to paint and put on weight. And there's no substance in this Vaishnav house. You know what I mean? And I was like, cool. I mean, I was just thrilled that she was supportive of wanting to be a tattooist.
Yeah. She wanted you. I mean, I've had this with partners of mine.
Yeah.
Always telling me about their parents. And I said, you know what your parents care about? You not being a deadbeat. That's it. They don't care. You being able to pay for the stuff you want and they don't have to pay for it. That's it. Grow up.
Yes.
Grow up.
That you're able to pay rent, to buy food, you know, that you're not. I think that at the end of the day, I think parents really just care that we are happy and we are good people, decent people, that we're doing our best not to harm other people, and that we are, the fridge is full, you know, you're fed and man, I don't know. There was a long time I was like, I really want a kid. I just,
you might still, who knows? It's a trend right now that I think more women in their 40s are actually, not that it's a great thing, but they're having a lot more babies now.
Mm-hmm. I think that the times have changed, and you know, I know in the case of my mom, it was very submissive, and she was in an arranged marriage, and it's really wonderful to see where, like, even the concept of tattooing and where that's going in India, with a lot more people rebelling against, like, I don't want to do IT. I don't want to be a doctor.
Good for them.
Queer, and I want to be a graffiti artist. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Really wonderful.
I heard about a tattoo convention that I heard, I forget his name. I'm so bad with names, but I met him at it. What was it?
It's an Indian one?
Yeah.
Cooler?
It might be.
Yeah. Cool.
He was just telling me how he was arranging, and like he was the coordinator of it, and he was like one of the faces of the coordination of it. And I was like, that's so cool.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean,
Swazzi.
Yes.
You ever get married?
Yeah.
Will you have an Indian wedding and will you invite me?
Of course I will.
I want to go to one so bad before I die.
Dude, you'll be there hands down if I get married. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're fun.
We do it all, like the white horse and everything.
We do that. Yes. And we'll do henna on your hands.
Oh, I love it.
And we'll get bangles. And they're fun.
I don't have to do it. I just have to observe it.
Yeah, they're intense.
I want to just be a fly on the wall. If you want to drag me into it and laugh at me while I try to dance, great.
Yeah.
I love Indian weddings. Oh my God.
They're so colorful. Yeah.
It's so amazing. It's like, I feel like no. If you are going to get an arranged marriage, at least you should get that kind of party.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. No way I'd be in a. No, my parents, my mom's kind of like, you know, my sister really kind of saved my ass because she became the doctor. She's married to an Indian.
My brother too. He's the normal one.
So my, like, whatever. Like, you get married, you don't. I don't care. You know, like, she's had a grandson now. It's like, but she's not like. She just wants me to be happy, I think.
Yeah, she sounds like a pretty. Your mom and my mom would probably get along pretty well. They have very similar stories. Yeah. My mom's still married, but it's rough.
Yeah.
But they're fierce, and they demand their boundaries be respected, and they are not willing to. It's a weird thing. Like, when you grow up, you learn the nature of love, and tough love is what you get from your mothers. And because it would not be loving to let you destroy yourself.
Yes.
That's not a loving act of anyone who cares about you. Yes.
That's so true. My mom is exactly that. She never would say, I love you, or hug me. That's just not what Indians do.
No, I've heard.
You know? Yeah. She's tough love. And extremely religious, and so she still prays for me,
Good. Yay.
and it's great. Yeah.
I need them. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, please save me not.
I
I'm like,
know. Oh God, that's awesome.
I think our relationship honestly became really strong when I really delved back into spirituality, because there were times in London where I do believe Narasimha had saved me from dangerous situations. Because all of that 20s, I just really wasn't connected to God.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Lakshmi Narasimha were my first tattoos.
Yeah.
A part of the reason was for selfish reasons, was because it was like, well, if I got any tattoos, and it was kind of like, at least it's not like a skeleton on a motorbike, which will just horrify my mom. So
Yes.
but in a beautiful way, I think it was.
I'm laughing because I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm laughing because it's so typical of a first tattoo, only here it's usually a cross.
Yeah.
It's a white boy in a cross, and he's like, I don't want my mom to be upset, so I'm getting it from Jesus.
Yes. Exactly.
I love it. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
It's wonderful.
And like, but I also think that he never left me, and not until I sort of came back, and I honestly wasn't like really just painting deities for a whole year, or just like anything spiritual, esoteric, religious related. You got to remember, you're just in your thoughts. It's you that the paintbrush. Even if you've got a record playing in the background, painting really. I had this conversation with my friend yesterday. I've got a solo exhibition coming up, and it's
wonderful.
And and a great.
Bravo.
Thank you very much. It's the first time I'm ever doing something like this. I'm scared. I'm nervous.
Please announce it, because hopefully I was gonna make this wait a week, but if it's coming up soon, I'd like to put it out just so we can shout it out. Whoever listens, who knows?
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. That's a big thing. That's huge. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and I'm pushing myself because I want to deliver to the best I can, and I've organized it in a way where I've got like 3 categories. So it's like First Nation, tribal, then I want to do deities, and then I want to do a big surprise one, which is kind of a homage to my ancestors.
Nice.
And so I was saying to my friend, like, it's such a, oh my God, it takes everything from you, because you really in your thoughts. I have to consciously set alarms to go outside with Rudy and get some light, literally get some. Good
for you.
Because it brings up a lot of stuff.
Well, and I mean, I get it, because if there's one place where I don't think about food, it's only my bladder that, or that kind of bodily function that can disrupt me from that, like just a palpable need to stop. Otherwise, you forget time and space. I call it my God sense when I'm because it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm doing necessarily. It's just pure action. It's just pure responding, and you're in that flow state. And when you're in that flow state, it's like all time and space kind of stops, and it is very intense, because, and it is very, a girl that I interviewed who I absolutely adore. I think you would love her as well. Her name is Allie. Her Instagram is Treehouse Tattooer, if you are interested, but she's fabulous. And she has a child, and she has 2 kids. And when I first met her, I just felt she was such a badass, because she had like a baby strapped to her at a tattoo seminar, and she's like drawing with this kid like attached to her. And I was like, wow.
That reminds me of, just side note, when I love Claudia de Sabe. I love her. I love her work. She's such a fierce. You remember when she just had the baby and she posted a picture of this ginormous painting, which basically, like, oh my God, it would have taken, like, was a painting that would have taken like a year or something. And she just was so badass. And she photo of her and she was breastfeeding her baby. And I think I just like cried when I saw it.
Yeah. It's incredible when you see that.
I know, me is just like power. That's
It is.
you know, yeah.
Yeah. No, totally. And that's all I saw. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Nothing in you said I can't. You know, like, and that's her, like 100%. And we went outside. I do smoke occasionally. I lie when I say complete, but it's only when I can completely give myself to it. She hand rolls tobacco. So she does like nice little hand rolled tobacco cigarettes. And so it's not great, but it's as clean as it could be.
Totally.
And we were outside on my back porch and we were having a smoke together. And she said, you know, Amy, I don't want this to sound rude, but or anything. And I wouldn't change anything for the world, but you know, being an artist is very selfish and self-involved, and it's very hard to be a mother in lieu of all that, because you know you have to balance both. And I think I mean, you know, I hope I'm not oversharing her story, but I think I told her, I said, why do you think I don't have kids? I was like, girl, no, I have very honestly proclaimed how selfish I am for a very long time. And unabashedly, I think she does it very successfully. And there are so many people that do it. I mean, like you said, they're badass. Yeah. It's powerful. I have a lot of reverence for it. I don't know how they juggle it. I honestly don't. But you know what? Yeah.
They have good boundaries. They have they have to.
They have to.
Like, they have to, because, you know, I was telling you about my friend Chris Klein, who I'm trading with. Mm-hmm. They got a couple of kids now. And I remember he put up a badass photo. I loved it. Like, the baby was born and his beautiful wife had taken a photo of him painting a flash, and he had one baby on his arm and he was somehow spit shading, man. I was like, what is this? Like, he was a Polymon with many hands. And I was just like, oh, wow. And I think, like, having some really beautiful, deep conversations with him, like, he's like, dude, you know, he's like, I don't have friends. My friends are my kids. They're my best friends. I was like, I love you. And but more than that, he was just kind of like, you know, you change when you, so he's like a tattooist. He's been tattooing a long time, you know, and as soon as like, you know, like a kid comes into the picture, like you have to, you change, your whole world changes.
I'm sure there's a new heat and a new purpose to your life. Yes. That's what Allie really, you know, shared, is that, like, you know, it's about them and it's really great. And the art can park as far as I'm concerned when you're creating children and young minds, as far as I can tell, but I definitely think you can integrate both. And I think it's a wonderful thing when you can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you know,
that sounds amazing, because like, I think more also, I was just thinking, I'm sorry.
It's
like,
about you.
No.
You're awesome.
In this conversation. I
love it.
I also, from a woman's perspective, like, you know, just the changing of the body too. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I don't know because I have never been pregnant, but I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
I can tell you one thing, being in your 40s, your bladder still goes. It just does. You don't have to birth a kid for you to need Kegels. Yeah. I can tell you that. Regardless. Yeah. Perimenopause, which I just learned about, hits us all, apparently.
Yeah, it does. And there's not actually a lot of, I feel like, there needs to be more information about that.
I mean, I guess
you just got to go through it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is, right? Like, like you said with when you were talking about Chris, it's like
Yes.
you just rise to the occasion of your life.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whatever it is. I mean, I think the dictation is, are you the kind of person who sits there and wallows and wonders why, or are you the kind of person that asks the question, like,
Yeah.
sincerely, why and what lessons do I have to learn from this, and try to struggle for the meaning of it? You might not get an answer, but at least if you are the kind of person who at least honors the meaning of that and tries to seek that meaning and hunts for that and acts within that and doesn't, you don't lay down and give up.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe there needs to be more information, but I think even with
Yeah.
less information, people are just gonna people.
That's it. Yeah, people are gonna people.
Yeah.
It's so, like as we're talking, I got a message from my sister. As you know, she's had the baby. She's
Yeah.
hasn't been in America for a long time, and she's going through the same thing. She's like, trying to make friends. It's not easy moving countries, and
I'll bet.
I bought her. I know it's Mother's Day coming up, and she just, I haven't opened it, but she was like, your gift made me cry. Like, how did we forget? I think also having a support network is special, and cultivating that, and just, it was so sweet to get her. She didn't have to text me, but it's just, I just want her to know that you are like, so you are remembered. I love you. And and I said in the card, I was like, you're such a powerhouse. You know what I mean? Like, you're working in the medical, you've just had the baby. Like, you are so inspiring to me. And I love you so much.
What kind of doctor is she?
She works with kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's like,
very cool.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm so proud of her.
That's awesome.
And like, your friend sounds, yes, like totally badass, and it's
She's
amazing.
cool, man. She's
Yes,
very cool. You guys would get along, because her beginning was very like yours, very big punk scene, but here in the Americas, and but London punk and like where she was, very similar, like gritty and
Yes.
I mean, it's punk.
It's punk. Yeah, exactly. It's punk. It's like it's all the same band, same music, same kind of vibe. And I think, I'll always love that scene, because the people were really accepting of me. Like, people, there was no bullies. Like, people were there for the music.
Yes.
Like, obviously everyone grows up. Some of my friends still hard out, go to shows, and some of them don't. Some of them are straight edge, some of them aren't straight edge and still hard out party, but like, the love is there. Do you know?
Yeah.
I've like, I'll go to shows by myself when I'm in the States. I don't know. I feel like tattooing envelops me so much. It takes a lot of my energy, and I'm not saying this in a complaining or a negative way. Is that outside of tattooing, I need to find, I'm quite sensitive as a person, and I need to find things that are a slower pace. And like, for me, having lunch with one friend will make my whole week, as opposed to me going to a party and just getting messy, like, I just really I just try and find like real, I just really, that's like, I just want simplicity.
It makes sense. We give so much of ourselves during a tattoo. It's kind of like dating. Honestly,
dude,
it's like you're on a date with a person every single day, and you know what I mean?
My really good friend RG said this. It's like, he's amazing, and he's got such a wonderful reputation, and he just does these. Been tattooing for a long time. He does these just magical bodysuits, and he really teaches me all the time. And he taught me, like, consultations, it's like dating. You have to understand, like, people are giving you their skin, the permission to be tattooing their skin. Like, trust and rapport is the basis. It's the foundation of being able to do a tattoo in the first place. If without, I like I love having consults, and I
Same.
do consults because I'm not a wizard, and I do need to follow the steps of taking a tracing and doing my homework. But I also love consults because I want people to be able to feel safety and comfortability when they're with me and go
Yeah.
like, you are listening to me, you know what I want, I know that you're hearing me, and I feel good to get tattooed by you.
Yeah.
Because I, at the end of the day, want to deliver what they want. And I am really grateful. I have so much gratitude that people want to get my stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
I, it's like, honestly, like, it's so nice, it's like,
Yes.
but I'm happy to do whatever tattoos if I'm able to do them. Like, if I can't do a realism tattoo, do you know what I mean? But it's just really like, beautiful so having the consults, I think, is just
You know what would be cool with you is seeing you combine what you do. This is a segue because I do
yeah,
want to I want to say something to you because you were touching on it a couple times. But
okay.
seeing your work doing a collaboration. I don't know if you've done that yet,
Oh,
but
never. I'd love
I
to.
think that you would
Yeah.
work really well with maybe either a realism artist or somebody
Yeah.
who did like a painterly style and
Yeah.
combine that. It would be really cool.
I never even considered it. It would
Yeah.
be fun. It would
Yeah, it would be
be.
fun.
I've never done it, so I'd have to really like pay attention and
Mm-hmm.
focus, and maybe probably ask advice from people that have done it.
Well, that's the thing. You'd probably
Cool.
pick up a lot about their process and watch them tattoo. And
Yeah.
you say you can't right now, but you paint deities and you do all this stuff, and you have the skill set, and those kind of things. They're very similar. Now, what
Yeah.
you're drawn to, that might be different, but I think that you might find that with watching and observing and collaborating with different
Artist.
creatives, you might find a lot more of yourself in that than you think right now.
Yeah, I honestly like I've been saying yes to any opportunity that is coming my way.
Mm-hmm.
Because um I like I said, I moved to the States for like I was just, Brisbane's a small burb town. I wasn't gonna settle in a little house and just, it's such a it's great. It was great. It was a safe place after London. It was where it sheltered me. It was comforting. It was like a warm hug, but it was time to leave Brisbane. It
Yeah.
was to like get out into the world and hope to meet people from different cultures, try and learn from different people. Um,
Yeah.
and honestly, like it's been nothing short of awesome. You know why? Because
Aw.
so many Indian people whose parents moved from India, like Indian Guyanese, or they have South or Sri Lankan, and I just am so like inspired by their stories, and actually have developed some awesome friendships out of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And like have immersed myself into going to temples with them, or I have restarted playing sitar, so I have
The
a sitar.
food. Oh
The
my God.
food in Queenie. Oh, the food in New York.
Oh,
I've
oh.
recently, I've always been vegetarian. I'm
Mm-hmm.
recently being now vegan because it's so much
Mm-hmm.
easier to be vegan in a place like New York because there's
Yeah.
so many options.
Yeah.
I think the portions in America are wild, but
They're wild.
like now this burger can last me like 3 days. It's crazy. It's like
I saw this brief clip of an interview with a French woman, and she was commenting on America. She's like, just stop eating.
Oh god.
Why can't you stop eating? Like, what is all that?
Oh, but like, yeah, there is some
It's so true, though.
talented chefs and wonderful vegan restaurants, and
Yeah.
that's a new thing for me as I've gotten older. I've just been a bit more like a foodie. I don't know. I'm all
Yeah. Well, you want good food,
good
like
food.
quality food.
I've started cooking.
That's great.
this is so stupid. My good friend Gilberto that runs Stone Books. I was just saying to him, like, I found this like new love for onions. I don't know why it's so special, but you can just cook
They're
onions.
very medicinal.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, so I bought a book about like that. It talks about onions in a really deep sense because I
It's
don't know.
awesome.
I'm just fascinated by cooking right now.
No, it's wonderful. And food is, I mean, it's our fuel.
It's our
I mean,
fuel.
one of our fuels, but it's important. It's very important.
Very important. It's community. It connects us. It's
Yes.
what we live.
Yep.
I think like that's why, you know, as I was saying, like I'm so body sensitive. I'm so sensitive. Like what other people can do, I can't do because I'm so little that I can. Like for example, people can drink so many shots. If I do something like that, like it's not good for me. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
used
a
to it.
mess. But I was going to say, you're very empathetic. And I can tell that when you were talking about the lady who, you know, was getting the memorial for her son.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I wanted to throw this out to you. I make a rule with deaths that I want you to have a year of grieving before we tattoo and comment on it. Because when you are very empathetic, that's a lot of grief to take on. And it's also very hard to maintain those boundaries. And sometimes, you know, it can be very beautiful and yielding, like you experience with them, but it can also keep them in that pain, and it can keep them in that grief.
Thank you for sharing that. That's a wonderful rule. I've never had someone that's actually perfect. You know, that's because people have to grieve. You know, loss is hard.
But that's a lot of grief to take on. And as a tattoo artist, that's a hard thing, especially if you're very empathetic. And I struggle with boundaries. I know how important they are, but I struggle with them, and I tend to take on, I mean, that's why you don't get up to eat. And that's why time gets lost, is because we go into these zones where we're just feeling and reacting. And when you have to absorb that, it can be a lot, and it can be a lot for them too. You know, the pain is so much more acute when they're getting tattooed, when they're already in a state that's so
vulnerable.
Yeah. Yep.
That's yes. Yeah. I also having my culture and being guided by my teachers. I also do rituals after tattooing. Like for example,
that's great.
Yeah, they say like to wash your feet before entering, because like I'm dealing with blood and energy. So by doing that, like the negative energies, they usually we in our culture, like specific to like my practice, they attach themselves onto your Achilles tendon. So I do like my own sort of. I'm starting like I love New York. I really do, but it's also a wild place, and there's a lot of frequencies, man. There's a lot. Yeah,
God bless you.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so, like, as stupid as this sounds, I like my self-care, like since being.
You've never said anything stupid this whole time.
No, I mean, like,
I'm just telling you.
An old person, but like I do like baths, cleansing baths. That's
awesome.
At home, I do incense. I do like to keep as much light as I can in my apartment because it's just like you know,
everything holds meaning.
Everything to me, everything.
You know, it's in general. I think when people come to their spirituality, you know, there's people want to, because we lack the capacity for everything, and we don't understand everything. Human beings wrestle with that all the time. But the reality is that either A, nothing matters, or B, everything does. There is no in between.
There's no in between. You know, I'm like actually like working with that. Like with my therapist is, interestingly enough, like, you know, narcissism, it's like it's the gray in between. I'm really trying to, it's not black and white thinking, but I'm the worst
No.
critic on myself. I judge myself so hard, and
Well,
I don't,
that's good. I
you know,
mean, in some ways,
well, in some ways it is good, you know, and other ways it can be detrimental,
for
because
sure.
you always are like, nothing, you like, you don't want to punish yourself. Do you know what
Right.
I mean?
Mhm.
And so I
Well,
think like,
the wrestle is knowing exactly what you were made for, because there is
oh,
a plan. There is a thing specific for you. And I
yes,
think that's what you're hunting down, because
yeah,
you know what you're made of, and you know,
yes,
and you also know that you don't know everything, and you might be better than you think, and so you wrestle with that. But I think
totally.
that's a responsible person that feels that way and that holds themselves to high standards.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
I also think it's just like, I really don't know anything. That's why, like,
None
besides,
of us do.
none of you, dude. I mean, I have a
Don't
team.
let anybody tell you that they do.
Dude, I mean, like I said, my spiritual religious practice, outside of my tattoo life, is very private. And I do speak to my mom and teach us about the meaning of life, about
Yeah.
what period we're in, about like, what is this moksham, like this state of nirvana? Like, how
Yeah.
does, I love the stories. I love the Hindu story. I love discourses. I listen to a lot of
Yeah.
discourses, debates, like the
Mhm.
people breaking down the book of Bhagavad Gita, like all of
Mhm.
that, you know? And it's like, I just, I like, you know, it's spirituality is such a beautiful thing, because you
Mhm.
think that you open like one little window and you are in like many different rabbit holes. There is just,
Yes.
there isn't a finite,
Yes.
just talking
That's
about,
my main argument for anyone who's an atheist. They're
yeah,
like, well, I don't know, so I'm not gonna. I said, well, atheism is a choice. That is you're
totally,
closing a door. Never
totally,
has it been in my quest to have a relationship with God that there's been less questions. There's
yeah,
only been more questions,
yes, yes, yes.
you
I,
know?
100%, yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I get this asked about, and I like to keep private. I don't really like.
Really? You're on a podcast.
I mean, I'm not like, I mean, in terms of like my rituals and stuff, do you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I get you.
But I mean, I also feel like I need it for me, because I feel unhinged if I don't meditate and pray.
Yeah,
I feel really like, I feel like I'm kind of losing it. So
yeah,
I think like for me, having meditation and having like a relationship with God seriously just like chills me out, because I'm such a complex person. Um,
yeah,
and I'm only human.
yeah.
I have flaws. I have weaknesses. I also have things that I'm good at. And so I need to have this like this relationship, you know, with God, because it's honestly, it's in my blood. It's like I was raised in India. It's like such a deep, it's so interwoven into Indian culture.
When you're participating in
Oh,
creation, and by
totally.
being an artist, you're harnessing that creative spirit. And
Totally.
Kali is like one of those things too. Like, in order to make art, you have to destroy something to reinvent it into something else. Canvas, it was created. It is what it is. But the second you put paint to it, you've changed it forever. It dies and it becomes something else. And so you're participating in something like that. So I that makes sense.
Yeah, totally, totally. I like I truly believe that. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
you do. And it's like yeah, that's
it's really
exactly,
cool.
you got to destroy it, you got to reinvent it, you got to, you know, and a lot of like, I think you have to go through like ego death.
Yeah.
I have taken medicinal medicine in India with my mom
Uh-huh.
there, where I have been in a safe environment in the jungle and I have purged. It's not like
Wow, that's cool.
very similar to like, you know, you go
Did that
through.
with your mom, man.
Yeah. Well,
That's
my
so cool.
big fan of things like that, because it has a spiritual, she's not like, you know, dude, she's not like doesn't drink, doesn't smoke.
No, I know. Those are not things you do. Alex Gray once said, look, psychedelics or anything like that, they're not drugs.
No, they're not drugs.
They're vehicles.
Yep. They are a means to unlock, oh my God, I don't know if you've seen this video. It's so cool. My friend sent it to me. This lady's about 70 years old, and she's straight up saying, like, she said, she was honest. She was like, I've taken acid a few times. It's a means to unlocking something in my conscience, or, like, just things that I have never seen or even contemplated or have heard about. Like, it's just different ways, but it does.
It's an ego death too.
An ego death.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I don't have, that I get sad. Like, I still get angry. I still get sad. I'm still human. Do you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I've done it. I completely understand.
Yeah.
But it's, I call it a lesson in control. Because every time I've done a psychedelic, I get spanked by the universe, and I'm very grateful to be shown my limits and how much the grace of God is behind me all the time.
Totally.
Because you exist in so much chaos that you're not even aware of. And what it does, it makes you very acutely aware of things that I think, because we've been trained and because you get numb to certain things in growing up. Yeah. So it kind of makes you aware of a lot that's going on that you otherwise just don't really, find the attention for. It gives you completely different perspective. Like you said, an ego death, it makes you very aware of where you exist within it all, and allows you to analyze yourself in some ways. Like, I have really laughed at myself quite a bit. I'm a fool.
Yeah, me too. You have to be able to do that. Like, I think I like doing it because it's just like,
especially with your mom, that's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, she's been there to assist and like be there for me, like, but she's never done it when I've done it, but she's been there when I've been purging. And she's just like, and I think I'm a big believer in anything medicinal like that. It has so much power because these are traditions that are centuries old.
The planet has everything we need. I mean, it really does. It was all made so that we could access it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. And I think like, it just, after doing it, you just, you're like, you're just human. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, you okay to go through the emotions that you went through. It's okay to have fears. It's okay to like,
do you think it makes you a better, because I would imagine it makes you a better tattoo artist.
I think it definitely opens up visuals and ideas and thoughts that influence my, or pushes my creativity. I think that's awesome, because I think for me, I'm trying to always be inspired and trying to, whether that's in the artistic realms or like a tattoo wise, I always want to, see new ideas, new concepts, new themes. And I think my time, every time I come back from India, I just am a better person because I'm happy again. I'm happy. My roots are so important to me. I've been to all of these temples, the color, the people, the food. I always joke with my mom. I'm like, Mom, maybe this year we should miss out on India and maybe do Peru or something. But the reality is like, I never felt like more drawn, like, and it being important to go to my roots when I can since moving to America, because it is like,
I believe it.
Like,
it's like your mom hugging you.
It is. It is like my mom hugging me, literally.
All right. that's our time with Swazzi. Like I said, and what I want to remind you of as you have listened to this first piece, there is more to come. Please come back next week so that you can learn more about this fantastic human and kind of share in a meeting of this person with me. And also, go through how we're connected to what we do and how we commune with God. I think both of us have very wonderful connections, and it was such a beautiful thing. I wrapped my time with Swazzi up, and by the end of it, I realized that I own a book, the Jesus book that I got from Black Dagger Books, which I also want to make a point of shouting out. Please go check out Black Dagger Books. Josh and Travis have really created something phenomenal for everyone to check out. But they have this really cool book called the Jesus Book, and it's filled with a lot of interpretations of Christ, which I think is really cool as an artist. But, I had this opportunity to be with one of the artists, and I have a lot of questions about the book that, when you look at the book, you have what you think, but you don't have the access that I had with Swazzi, and I feel like I dropped the ball. But she's gracious, and we have talked on the background, and I'm hoping that after her showing her exhibition in June 22nd at the Devout Gallery, she's really leaving it to be like an unveiling kind of thing. So you're not going to see any of this until you go to the show. And then afterwards, I'm sure that she'll be selling paintings from there. But that's going to be the unveiling of all of this. So it sounds pretty amazing. But yes, after her exhibition, which I really want to shout out and give her as much attention, because it's a lot of work. I mean, honestly, the reasons why I'm now connecting with this person is that she came into things hot, doing an amazing amount of work up front, being very prolific, incredible diligence to her craft, painting, so much so that when she approached people like Travis and Josh of Black Dagger Books, she had an entire body of work that they were able to compile into a book. And now she's working towards a gallery exhibition. And when I say that is so much work, so much diligence, I have so much reverence for that amount of focus and diligence. It's really, really incredible. So I want to leave you all with that. Please, please go check out this artist. I find her incredible. And Swazzi, I'm sorry that I'm, saying so many amazing things. You're a very humble human, and I know that you're just going to keep, killing it, girl. So take the compliment. You've done a lot. You're doing a lot. It's hard for us to give ourselves that kind of pat on the back because we're just so in it. But she's saying yes to a lot of things, and it's producing a lot of amazing, amazing things in her life. So thank you, Swazzi. Thank you, as always, listeners. God bless you all, and have a very powerful week. We'll catch you next week with more. Bye.
Thanks for listening. You can find the Apprenticeship Diaries on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Our IG is _apprenticeship_diaries. If you would like to offer constructive criticism or an interview, drop us an email at theapprenticeshipdiaries@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from our listeners.